Hello and welcome back to Satisfactory. My name is Vilcata, and today we're going to get some more of this yard cleaned up. And the ongoing promise. And we've been away from it for a little bit. Last episode we went and did a lot of work over in the coal area. And if you stuck around to the end of the last episode, you know what we're going to do first in this episode, which is we are going to quickly and shortly return to the coal area just to show off what I have done between episodes. You see, when I built out the assemblers for the compacted coal, I did it kind of out in the open because there just wasn't any good way to build the area the way I had envisioned it while showing it on camera because of all the structures that we already had in place in the platforms. And I knew it was going to take a very long time. There was no way to condense that down into like a high-speed time lapse. Between episodes, it took me about 3 or 4 hours to build the area out the way I wanted to. And imagine me condensing that into a 2-minute high-speed time lapse. It would just be one big blur. You would not be able to tell what was going on. So today we're going to run over there. I'm going to show you all the changes, kind of take a quick walkthrough, and then we're going to come right back to here and we're going to get going with making these buildings look a little bit better, but mostly focusing on getting our iron plate off the ground and starting to set this up so that we can turn it into a bit of a complex that works together. And here we are at the new and improved coal plant. Looks a lot different, doesn't it? They're no longer down there. Yeah, a lot of work, and I'm very happy with this. My vision is coming together. So we're going to take a quick look at the actual coal area and the repainting of it. I like the stark colors, the black and the kind of eggshell white. And I think that possibly in the future these white tiles are going to be removed and replaced with glass. I haven't really decided yet, but we don't have it, so we'll test it out when we have it. But the stark contrast of the black tiling with the black and yellow of the machines just works beautifully, and the soft blue for the piping to match that's water piping, I think it all pops. I'm so pleased with the way it came out. I know originally I wanted to do this concrete, but when I started to turn it all into concrete, it didn't feel right. But the concrete did, however, work out quite nicely for the other floors. And I've actually repainted all of these too. So the original concrete color is this lighter gray. I needed a little bit darker gray just to feel better. So I've moved all of the assemblers onto a floor beneath, and this is much easier to manage. Plus, it kind of gives us more use of the space. And this is what I really wanted to do at the beginning, but again, recording this just wouldn't have been feasible. A time lapse looking from the top, had the roof in the way. Trust me, it just wouldn't have gone well. But I've moved them all over here. It's the same 5 assemblers are set up the same way. And if we go downstairs, we have a proper way up and down now. This is where it gets really nice. The belt management allows us to run a line along one side and the other resource on the other side, and we don't have to do any kind of all that crazy belt weaving all over the placeness. And this makes me much happier. Now, this isn't always something we can do, which is why I wanted to show you the other strategies earlier on belt management, because this requires us to have a false floor, and that's not always going to be an option. We also went with more supports, which is something I wanted to do last time, but we just didn't have the time. And this middle floor here with the assemblers are just sitting. They're sitting on these pillars. They're not attached to anything else. They're just kind of resting there. And you can see we moved the pipes to go up parallel. They look very nice. And then we have the much stronger, larger pillars supporting the top floor on top of the bottom floor. And I did some anchoring in places that I think look much nicer, and there are more anchors on the other side. And if we go down here, the supports have been changed to have a much better appearance, as if they could actually support some of this weight. And they are anchored into the ground pretty solidly. And we have a nicer color scheme going on. I'm quite pleased with it, and all sides are the same way. Cleaned this up a bit, you know, reran the pipes again up the middle. I like the yellow and blue together on the piping. I think it looks wonderful. So that's going to be it for the tour of the coal area. We got a bunch of the Mark II poles put in place, got rid of the Mark I poles, just clean up the pole management, the cable wiring and all that. All right, let's head back home. Here we are back at home, and as you can see, we're up on the smelter building, looking down on the open space where the iron plate building is going to be. Now, iron plate takes less space than rods because it produces twice as much. And, well, it doesn't produce twice as much, it consumes twice as much per machine. And we're going to put it right there, which means we need to remove the hub and all the associated buildings. And we're just going to probably plop it down over there somewhere. But the hub is also full of flower petals. That's just where I've been storing them. And there's a personal storage over there as well. It's going to need to be moved. So before we get started, we're actually going to do a small upgrade to the house. So let's run over there real quick. Now, the first thing we need are some tickets. And this thing has been running good. All right. 17, nice. And let's head upstairs to our house. We'll have a car soon to park in the garage. And let's move this out of the way. I don't think we need to move that. All right, let's turn on our... We don't have lights yet, so we'll use our flashlight. And what we're going to do here is set up some storage. And this is probably going to be more storage than we need. But it's difficult to do this after the fact. So it's better to put in more now than to later on realize you need more. So organization, personal box. We're going to go one away from the wall. There we go. 3 wide is probably fine. Of course, we don't want floating boxes, which is where the tickets are going to come in. We want conveyor walls. And purchase. Go to logistics. Get our freshly purchased conveyor walls. Boop, boop, boop. And now we have shelves. Looks pretty good, doesn't it? And we'll ignore the fact that they would come sliding right off the side. But that's what we needed. We needed some space. We're gonna run over to the hub and we're gonna empty out all that stuff and bring it back. All right, so now we can remove everything. Let's take all of our inventory back here. And we're gonna put our tickets away for now. We're going to get windows here shortly. And, oh, we got a beacon to research. First, let's bring this back over somewhere reasonable for now. I think we needed that somewhere else. This is going to be... Okay, we can't make that anytime soon. Yeah, let's do this one instead. So there's the inhaler. I don't use them a whole lot, but they are useful. In fact, we have the stuff on us to make them, to research them. All right, let's get to building. Oh, and one more thing. We're buying our windows and our doors. Yes, please. Thank you. Very nice. All right, now let's go get to building.
Try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain. Pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane. Pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test and expect nothing less. You check as I'm chess, what's happening next? Yeah. He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson. He got a new engine from pain, that's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just bold and obsession. All in his possession, you got their attention. I leave an impression and take your redemption. Just kill no discretion, your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they're scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try the chains, you can say no, free me. So he's been looking for somebody who could save him, instead of searching inside for what they gave him. A strong will, strong mind causes mayhem. We could change the world, change times, rearrange them. Staying on pace, running the race. Life is a chase, I don't want a place, I wanna be first. Work till it hurts, dehydrated thirst till I'm in a hearse. High ambitions in the right mind can take you so far. It's like you lived a few lifetimes.
Oh boy, and there it is. Oh man. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. I like the way it looks. It looks very factory-ish. You know, now that we have windows and, you know, doing some painting as we go along, it just makes such a difference. And, you know, we have other shapes. And, I mean, of course, we did already have the ramps, but we can put a roof on it that looks more proper or factory-ish. And, yeah, so let's take a tour and let's finish up the bottom at the same time. So the output right now is coming into these two individual storage containers. And I wanted to show you something. I kind of stopped building it because I wanted to show you something. Also, we can get rid of... These are just going all over the place, aren't they? Let's jump that from there to there. That eliminates that. And I don't know what's going to what. You know what? Alright, we didn't hear anything shut down. Oh, this is going anyway. So I wanted to, while I was building this, I wanted to show you something now. In the time lapse, you probably saw this whole thing was yellow, and then I painted it, which is a fantastic feature, right? And here's the color. We did swatch 13 for the color. And for the third, I don't want to say story, the third tier windows, the top windows of a floor, I went with black, kind of a nice offset, I think. I think it looks great. But we can go through and we can paint all of them, but you can set a default, right? So like right now the default is yellow, right? Because that's my default factory color, and then I can just paint them afterwards. But if you're not familiar with the interface, you can go to the customizer and you can right click on a swatch and you can set the default color for a thing. In this case, standard is going to be the walls. So we're going to click standard. And you notice that doesn't change the existing walls, but new walls will come out that color. Isn't that nice? So we're going to finish up this bottom floor. And it's not exactly the right height, so we're going to use the small walls and finish off the rest of it. We're not going to put any windows on the bottom floor. It's our storage floor. So we will need a door and we will need an output. For now, so let's just kind of get it set up. We'll lock ourselves inside. All right, and I think we'll do a door just kind of on the side, I guess. Right there. And we'll give them both their own output. I like to keep the outputs off the floor just to make it a little easier for us to walk under belts, you know, both on the inside of the building and wherever they're going out. So we'll do that. Give ourselves a nice door. All right, and now that we're done with our walls, we're going to go back to the customizer and we're going to switch it back to the default like that. All right, excellent. So this will be it, and we just need to connect up, I think, the inputs. I think the power is all ready to go. The way inside right now is not great, but you know, we'll work on it. Like right now we have a little bunny hop there, and then we go in the back door because we're not going to need to go in very often, if ever. You know, once it's running, it's running. Look how much nicer this looks on the inside, being able to look out, you know, having windows, not just an open gaping hole. And we're going to retrofit these other buildings now that we have windows, but this just looks beautiful from the inside. And this is kind of a standard setup, right? We have the input splitting across the four because one machine uses 30 per minute. We have 120 iron ingots coming in per minute per belt, and we will have 80 going out, which is why we couldn't merge the two outputs. They had to be their own, or at the moment, going to their own storage. And we made a little crosswalk over to the next door building, and this is the way we get upstairs. This is the same, and we put a little access to the roof, and it looks like we needed a little bit more painting here. Number 13, boom, boom, just like that, and up to the roof. Not that we'd normally need access to the roof, but here it is. I played with colors for the roof, but when it came down to it, this gray is actually the right color for it, so no need to change it if it ain't broken. And we can just jump over here. We'll probably make some kind of walkway across them at some point. But this gives us a chance to get in there and look at it. Looking smooth, isn't it? Looking nice. All right, let's see if we can... No, you know what? We're going to go downstairs. Because we need to make some changes in the bottom floor of this because we needed to change where the iron was coming out. So we did redirect the outputs, all four of them to the same wall. And I cleaned up this going over. You see these wall connections are so nice. And this way it cleared underneath it nicely. And this is going to be our first floor input. Second floor. Whoop. Did not consider that that might be too steep. That's all right. We will try another one. Let's go up one floor. Yeah, let's make sure it's a Mark II belt. Okay, that's alright, that's alright. That's what we've got these things for. That'll reach. Looky there. Yeah, much nicer. Alright. And then finally we will need to come up with a scheme here for getting these cleanly across. So that looks like it's going to match up just fine. So let's do something like right here, right here. Is that going to look all right? Yeah, it's not going to run into anything. Very good, very good. And if you didn't catch it in the time lapse, let's run in there real quick and I'll show you how that's running. You know, I paused it forgetting that we had the door right there. So those are coming across, going through the inner walls. This is what I love these wall conveyors for. And then just going out some outs. And in a straight line to our rod and screw building. So that's just beautiful. Nice and clean, so you can just do a little clean turn. This is beautiful. All right, I think that's about it for the building. We put some supports down here to support it a little bit more. Now comes the fun part. We get to clean up some stuff from the ground. We get clean up. First of all, this right here was a limestone constructor. We're just gonna decommission it. Don't need it anymore. And then all of these. This was iron plating, or it was iron ingots going into iron plating. And these were iron plates going into this splitter. I might go through that, but it doesn't matter because we don't need it anymore. Bye-bye. And is this going anywhere important? It's going to that. It's going to that. You know, let's do this. Let's upgrade this to a Mark II belt, or Mark II pole. Upgrade that to a Mark II pole. Let's connect them directly. So now that can go away. And now that's just going to that miner. And this is just to make sure. Nope, that wasn't going to. Oh my goodness, what was it going to? It was going to the wall. So we may have just disconnected our. Yep. That's all good. Reconnect it up here. Come on, there you go. Okay, so yeah, we got rid of two constructors. But that's fine. That's fine. We can really start cleaning things up now because all of our iron is now automated into buildings. That's fantastic. Let's run back to the house. Actually, now that we're here, I think we upgrade the house. We kind of need to. I don't remember what colors I put on these. That's okay. I just made a door, then I jumped over the rail. All right, and I think we're good for like windows on these. We don't need windows everywhere. Nice paneled windows, I think will look nice. Let's see if we can figure out what color these were. Was it this? Nope, that's way darker. Although that's something nice. Let's do it in this. Yeah. I'm not married to these colors, and I'm being consistent for the moment. I will worry about it later. Oh, We have windows and doors now. Oh my goodness. You know what? I think I want to offset that door maybe. Or I'll think about it. Excellent. All right. That's the next evolution of the house. We don't have a gaping hole in the front anymore, and we can get into our garage much more easily. And soon we will have a car. We could do that right now, but we're not going to. We'd have to do some manual crafting. Yeah, we would need 10 of these. But that's, you know, we don't need it at the moment, but I think we're going to need it fairly soon. Oh, look at that pretty building. Very pretty building. I love it. And we will get to repainting these other things. I went with gray on that building because it's iron plate. You know, they're kind of silverish gray. And I know the rods are kind of a darker gray. We also have screws going in there, so we might go with a darker gray or a blue or a mixture thereof for that building. We'll see. We're going to save that for next episode. You know, we're not wildly over time at this point. And this is kind of the target I kind of want to aim for anyway. We can start moving some of these assemblers, and that's going to help us get some of this yard cleaned up. But I think first we should resolve our copper, because that's going to be all that stuff. There's 4 constructors right there that are doing copper. We only have 1 smelter, well, 2 smelters. I guess 1 back there. And cleaning all that up would allow us to free up all that middle space. And then we can start moving away our storage bins, because like a couple of storage bins aren't even needed anymore. You know, for example, we're now storing the iron plate inside that building. So we'll be able to get rid of that storage as well. It's going to go fast. We will suddenly have an empty field. And yeah, we can start looking into that on the next episode. Again, probably copper next. But let's wrap it here. A beautiful building, wonderful progress, keeping to a good time frame. I hope the time lapse came out great. You know, well, I'm getting more practice with that time lapse mod, and I'm getting more of a hang of it. So I think it's gonna be good. Plus, we got to look at the upgrade build design to the coal area at the beginning of the episode. I hope that you guys liked it, because I think that it's wonderful and it's a great foundation to build on. But you know, if you like this, leave a like. You know, and you know, I say it every time. If you're enjoying this, you haven't subscribed, then just click the subscribe button. That way you don't miss out on them. And you know, check out my Twitter if that's something that you use. You know, again, I try not to spam it for anything. It's mainly game-related stuff. But thanks very much for coming out. Leave a comment if you have anything to say about this. And, you know, feedback is wonderful. And thanks very much for your time. I really appreciate it. And thanks for watching, and hope to see you in the next episode.